प्रभुजी।
हरे कृष्ण धन्यवाद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवतिरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिनि। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Okay, Canto 1, Chapter 5, Verse 21. Tvamaatmanatmanam avehyamogedrik parasya pumsa paramatmanah kalam ajam prajatam jagata shivayatan mahanubhavabhyudayo diganyatam. Your goodness has perfect vision. You yourself can know the Supreme Personality, Super Soul Personality of Godhead, because you are present as the plenary portion of the Lord. Although you are birthless, you have appeared on this earth for the well-being of all people. Please therefore describe the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, more vividly. Srila Vyasadeva is the empowered plenary portion incarnation of the Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. He descended by his causeless mercy to deliver the fallen souls in the material world. So please see here. He descended by his causeless mercy. Now, this his H is not capital. Okay, normally when it refers to Krishna, Vishnu, etc., H is capital. Now, Vyasadeva is empowered plenary portion. Empowered plenary portion means Shaktyavesha avatar. A Shaktyavesha avatar is actually a Jiva who is empowered with extraordinary power. That is why there is no capital H here. So Vishnu Shaktyavesha avatar is a Jiva who has been endowed with extraordinary power. So Srila Vyasadeva, he descended by his causeless mercy to deliver the fallen souls in the material world. The fallen and forgotten souls are detached from the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The living entities are parts and parcels of the Lord, and they are eternally servitors of the Lord. All the Vedic literatures, therefore, are put into systematic order for the benefit of the fallen souls, and it is the duty of the fallen souls to take advantage of such literatures and be freed from the bondage of material existence. So the Vedic literatures were put into systematic order because it was not possible to be understood by people of Kali Yuga. So Srila Vyasadeva, as the literary incarnation, he put the Vedic literatures in systematic order for the benefit of the fallen souls, and so fallen souls have to take advantage of such literatures. Although formally Srila Narada Rishi is his spiritual master, Srila Vyasadeva is not at all dependent on a spiritual master, because in essence he is the spiritual master of everyone else, because he is an empowered incarnation. But because he is doing the work of an acharya, he has taught us by his own conduct that one must have a spiritual master, even though he be God himself. Lord Shri Krishna, Lord Shri Rama, and Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all incarnations of Godhead, accepted formal spiritual masters, although by their transcendental nature they were cognizant of all knowledge. In order to direct people in general to the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, he himself, in the incarnation of Vyasadeva, is delineating the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. So we have to, everybody has to accept a spiritual master. Okay, so there's nothing much to say here. Idam hi pumsas tapasas shrutasya va svistasya suktasya cha buddhi tattayoh avichutortha kavibhir nirupito yaduttama shloka gunanuvarnanam. Learned circles have positively concluded that the infallible purpose of the advancement of knowledge, namely austerities, study of the Vedas, sacrifice, chanting of hymns, and charity, culminates in the transcendental description of the Lord, who is defined in choice poetry. Learned circles, Gnanis, have positively concluded, or Kavibihi, Kavi, learned circles, the infallible purpose of the advancement of knowledge. Why does one acquire knowledge? That advancement of knowledge, it culminates in transcendental description of the Lord, meaning whatever other knowledge, though it might seem like it is, superior to the simple descriptions of the Lord, simple pastime descriptions of the Lord. Somebody might be engaged in so much word jugglery, and it might seem more complex, superior compared to the transcendental descriptions of the Lord. Hmm? But it's very clear here is that the advancement of all knowledge. So somebody studies all these complicated, you know, knowledge just to come to the platform of hearing the transcendental descriptions of the Lord. And what is the advancement of knowledge? What are the aspects of advancement of knowledge? Austerity, study of the Vedas, sacrifice, chanting of hymns, charity, etc. All this help one in advancement of knowledge. But finally, it culminates in transcendental description of the Lord. Human intellect is developed for advancement of learning in art, science, philosophy, physics, chemistry, psychology, economics, politics, etc. By culture of such knowledge, the human society can attain perfection of life. This perfection of life culminates in the realization of the Supreme Being. So, whatever people are studying, art, science, philosophy, etc., 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 finally they have to come to realization of the Supreme Being, Vishnu. But Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Namam dushkrutino muda prapadente naradama. Maya Parta Gnana. So this Maya Parta Gnana, all these philosophers, scientists, physicists, chemists, etc., all these are Maya Parta Gnana, whose knowledge has been aparata, stolen by Maya. So they will not come to this ultimate state, which is realization of Supreme Being, because they are Dushkrutina. Dushkrutina, Prabhupada writes in that purport. They have intelligence, but they're using it for promoting things which are taking people away from Krishna. So they're Dushkrutina, they're misusing their intelligence. So such people will not come to Krishna because they don't surrender. No, Dushkritina Muda, they are fools. Muda. Prapadyante Naradama, the lowest of mankind. Maya Gnana. Knowledge has been stolen by Maya. Asuram Bhavam Ashritaha, who have taken shelter of demoniac qualities. They don't surrender. They don't surrender. Though they are on that path of advancement of learning, just so that they come to the Supreme Being, but they don't know that. The Shruti therefore directs that those who are actually advanced in learning should aspire for the service of the Lord Vishnu. Unfortunately, persons who are enamored by the external beauty of Vishnu Maya do not understand the culmination of perfection or self-realization depends on Vishnu because they're affected by Maya. Vishnu Maya means sense enjoyment, which is transient and miserable. Now, this is applicable even to scientists, philosophers, etc., etc., etc. They're all stuck in sense enjoyment. Those who are entrapped by Vishnu Maya utilize advancement of knowledge for sense enjoyment. This is Dushkrutina. Sri Narada Muni has explained that all paraphernalia of the cosmic universe is but an emanation from the Lord out of his different energies. Because the Lord has set it in motion by his inconceivable energy, the actions and reactions of the created manifestation. So it's all Krishna's energy. They have, they have come to be out of his energy, they rest on his energy, and after annihilation, they merge into him. Nothing is therefore different from him, but at the same time, the Lord is always different from them. So, all this, whatever the Vishnu Maya that people are enamored with, is just energy of Krishna, right? The energy of Krishna. The idea is of this external energy also is to come to Krishna only. As in, why this material world? Why this punishment? Why all this? Why? Everything is to just bring people finally to Krishna. Mm. So those stuck in Vishnu Maya are enamored by sense enjoyment, but actually the whole um, purpose is to actually come to Krishna. Whether it be knowledge, whether it be wealth, whether whatever it is in this material world, everything is supposed to bring people finally to Krishna. When advancement of knowledge is applied in the service of the Lord, the whole process becomes absolute. The person who got it and his transcendental name, fame, glory, etc., are all non-different from him. Therefore, all the sages and devotees of the Lord have recommended that the subject matter of art, science, philosophy, physics, chemistry, psychology, and all other branches of knowledge should be wholly and solely, not partially, should be wholly and solely applied in the service of the Lord. Hmm. This is what is concluded. Actually, they have recommended this that it should be wholly and solely applied, but it's not being done so. It's being wholly and solely used for sense gratification. That is why there is misery in this material world. And as devotees, we do partly in the service of the Lord, and we do partly in sense gratification. Art, literature, poetry, painting, etc., may be used in glorifying the Lord. Fiction writers, poets, and celebrated literators are generally engaged in writing of sensuous objects, but if they turn towards the service of the Lord, they can describe the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Valmiki was a great poet, and similarly, Vyasadeva is a great writer, and both of them have absolutely engaged themselves in delineating the transcendental activities of the Lord, and by doing so have become immortal. Actually, today we see even great, musicians, poets, etc., etc. They are not absolutely engaged in transcendental activities of the Lord. Somehow, here and there, they also add, Krishna, Vishnu to their. They deal with everything, all kinds of topics, subjects, and they also once in a while add Krishna, Vishnu, mm, in the mix. So they will not become immortal. Great sages, poets, who absolutely engage themselves. So the important thing is to be absolutely engaged, not partially engaged. Absolutely means nothing else. Similarly, science and philosophy also should be applied in the service of the Lord. There's no use presenting dry speculative theories for sense gratification. Philosophy and science should be engaged to establish the glory of the Lord. So philosophy should be used, science should be used to establish the glory of the Lord, not to defy it. But all philosophers, scientists are defying God. Advanced people are eager to understand the absolute truth through the medium of science, and therefore a great scientist should endeavor to prove the existence of the Lord on a scientific basis, which is what Prabhupada wanted. And Swarup Damodar Maharaj actually, he continued that effort. um, Isaac Newton said, I think, right? Scientists are just trying to discover what God has already created. Uh, so it is their responsibility in to prove the existence of the Lord on a scientific basis. Similarly, philosophical speculation should be utilized to establish the supreme truth as sentient and all powerful. Similarly, all other branches of knowledge should always be engaged. See, Prabhupada is not giving any scope for karma. Prabhupada's purports are always just about Shuddha Bhakti. There is nothing like Mishra Bhakti. There is no Karma Yoga. In Prabhupada's writing, there is no Karma Yoga. You see, second chapter, third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, no Karma Yoga. It is titled Karma Yoga. But Prabhupada has actually made it Krishna Karma, which is actually working for Krishna. He never described Karma Yoga technically. Like Karma Yoga is where there is propensity to work and the results are offered to the Lord. But offering the results to the Lord is just incidental. It's like, as a matter of fact, okay, I need to offer, that's all. So there is no really love, there is no intention to please the Lord by karma. But Prabhupada converted that karma yoga to actually bhakti by saying that work for Krishna's pleasure. Actually, that's not karma yoga. So there is and this is very difficult. Which is one of the things I keep saying, most preachers also, if unless not the great famous preachers, but devotees who are doing local preaching, etc., etc., they might not understand this. And I've seen in classes where people are saying, actually, you should do your karma, mm, and they call it karma yoga, and offer results to Krishna. Actually, we should not be doing karma yoga. We should be doing bhakti yoga. Karma yoga is not for us. So the idea is, yeah, you can. If we should not, if there is propensity to work, meaning I want to go, I want to work, that is karma. That is a very low stage. We should always desire, okay, I have to work. Why? Nothing, because okay, money is required for my maintenance. Why my maintenance is required? Because I want to serve Krishna, so I need to keep this body and soul together. Okay, I'll work for that. That's all. That is bhakti yoga. But oh yeah, yeah, I have to work. I have to. This is nice problem statement. I want to solve this. I want to create some solution. Some propensity to work. I just like to work. That is karma. And then if you offer some results to Krishna as a matter of duty, it is karma yoga. Right? So we should not be doing karma yoga. We should be doing bhakti yoga, which means whatever we are working is just for our maintenance and use money as much as possible in Krishna's service. This is what Prabhupada actually taught us to do. No, there's nothing else he's talked about. He's not talked about karma yoga. So we have to be very, very clear. That's why here Prabhupada is saying all branches should always be engaged. How can they be always be engaged if somebody is doing karma yoga? Cannot be always be engaged. So if it has to be always be engaged, then it has to be only bhakti yoga. Only in bhakti yoga can it be always be engaged. In the Bhagavad Gita also the same is affirmed. All knowledge not engaged in the service of the Lord is but nescience. Real utilization of advanced knowledge is to establish the glories of the Lord. And that is the real import. Real utilization of advanced knowledge, whatever knowledge be it. Scientific knowledge engaged in the service of the Lord and all similar activities are factually Hari Kirtana. See? So if any knowledge is used directly engaged in the service of the Lord, it is Hari Kirtana. Glorification of the Lord. And that is bhakti. That is not any kind of karma. So anyway, so the emphasis here is that all jnana, culmination of all jnana is Bhagavatam. Right? No point in reading anything else. Useless waste of time. Anyway, because slowly and steady, we have to eventually come to this only. We have to come to the transcendental description of the Lord. Why waste time in reading anything else of this material world? It's simply a waste of time. Okay. Okay, is there any question on this? What I just discussed?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, yes, I
Yeah.
do have a question.
Yeah.
Prabhu, this is a Karam Bhumi, right? Right now you explained that you should not be doing Karma Yoga. And what I have understood till now, like you have to do your Karma Yoga and give the results, offer the results to the Lord, then you are free from action and reaction. And
Yeah.
during your Karma Yoga, when you dovetail it to the Lord, it becomes Bhakti Yoga. But what I've understood of yours is that you don't do Karma Yoga. How do you what exactly do you mean by it? Or have I understood it wrong?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Krishna is talking about karma yoga. Actually, technically, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna first talks about karma yoga because this is for normal people, not for devotees, right? Normal people who are coming through a gradual process of progression in their life. Instead of first, they should stop doing vikarma, then they should come to the platform of karma, and then they should come to nishkama karma, right? What is vikarma is things that we should not do. Karma means things we should do as per varnashrama. And then it should become nishkama, which means without any desire for outcome. And then it should become nishkama karma yoga. This is the recommended gradation
Yes.
for ordinary people, normal people. And then what happens to them after they do nishkama karma yoga for many years, they get frustrated with karma. And then they come to jnana. And then after they come to jnana, bohanam janmanam ante, they come to bhakti. This is this is the traditional route, right? Before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right now, for us practicing devotees, we have to our focus actually, and practicing devotees in ISKCON specifically, our focus as per our Srila Prabhupada is Shuddha Bhakti, is pure Bhakti Yoga. Okay, he's not expecting us to do anything else. Now, then what happens to our working or livelihood, etc.? Because when a person starts chanting Hare Krishna, if he actually approaches the process in a very surrendered way, he'll get purified of lower propensities, and the lower propensities is actually desiring to work. Like I want to work, I want to go there, like like software people say, I want to solve some big problems. All this is propensity to do karma, which are not directly connected to Krishna at all. Hmm? So when one starts the process of bhakti, very different from the traditional yoga ladder, one starts performing bhakti and especially chanting Hare Krishna, reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, etc. He should get purified to an extent where he doesn't want to work, but he has to work as because he just needs to work. I mean, he cannot live, right? Just to keep body and soul together, he needs food, shelter, clothes, etc. So he will have to work, right? But that devotee is not thinking that I like to work. He's saying I have to work. I don't have an option. If given an option, I will not work. If I can manage my household, my responsibilities without having to work, I won't work. But if I have to work, I will work. Right? And even when he's working, what is our intention is to work, keep this body and soul together. Why keep the body and soul together? Just for Krishna's service. So the intention of that work is not for sense gratification. This is completely bhakti,
What about your
right?
prescribed duties?
That's what. So you earn for taking care of your family, right? So you use that much, whatever is required for Krishna's service. But then there's no sense gratification coming out of that money, right? And it's a purely like a devotee setup, right? So like it's like a running a temple, right? You get money from somebody does donations, etc. We don't use for sense gratification, right? We just simply use it to run the temple, which is Krishna's home. Similarly, the house should become Krishna's home, and people are devotees, inmates, and money is coming. In this case, because grihasthas are not supposed to beg, so or take donations, so grihastha is working as per Shastra, and he's getting some money, but he's using that money to maintain the house, which is actually a temple. This is bhakti. So, because there is no scope for sense gratification there. Now, to the extent there is sense gratification, to that extent it is going to be Mishra Bhakti. But still, it should not be Karma Yoga. So there's the big difference between Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga is the center of Karma Yoga is Karma. The center of Bhakti Yoga is Krishna, right? So we might be doing work, but our life is centered around Krishna. So we are not doing Karma Yoga. We are doing Bhakti Yoga, but we might be doing Mishra Bhakti. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji, got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So see, that is why these are like technical things that actually, if we don't understand Prabhupada's
Right.
mood clearly, we will just.
No, sorry, just interrupting, Prabhu. When you do your prescribed duties, or you do your karma for without sense gratification to run the house as a temple, it becomes bhakti yoga, right?
Okay, so let me slightly fine tune that statement that you made. See, actually, in Varnashrama also there's no question of sense gratification, but Varnashrama is a practice where people also work like this way, like you just defined, right? Say they're just working, they're doing their prescribed duties without sense gratification. Now that is still Varnashrama, that may or may not become bhakti. It becomes bhakti only when Krishna is in the center. So Krishna is in the center, but because I need to maintain my house, I'm having to do some work, right? If Krishna is the center of my life, then becomes bhakti. Anything else will become other things, right? Karma yoga, etc. Krishna has to be in the center. That's the key. So
Work done for Krishna becomes bhakti yoga. Work done for sense gratification becomes karma yoga.
karma, yeah, and then between karma and bhakti, then there are various gradations, like I said, nishkama karma, etc. So not Just the lack of sense gratification doesn't make it bhakti, right? Lack of sense gratification just makes it nishkama karma yoga, right? But bhakti means Krishna is there in the middle, meaning our house is belongs to Krishna. So we can simply think about this, like Bhakti Vinod Thakur said that house should become a temple. So when house becomes a temple, then it is bhakti yoga, right? If house has not become a temple, which means Krishna is not the center of the life, then it becomes karma yoga, nishkama karma yoga, based on what people are doing, or it could be even karma, etc., etc. Krishna
Listen,
has to be in the center. Krishna has
it
to be
is
in the
little
center.
tricky, Prabhu. I'm not getting it very much. I
No,
suppose
Krishna has to be in the center, Mataji.
no,
Basically,
Krishna,
see,
like Krishna is there in the center, even when you're earning, even when you're
yeah.
going. Now, even when the house there is Krishna, but then if you either you completely renunciate, or like according to what I know, complete renunciation, not earning is not not
No, no,
all
no.
you
It's
have
not
enough to maintain.
renunciation. It's not renunciation. So again, see, some of these topics we have to understand. Our acharyas never recommended renunciation.
Yes,
They right. They
absolutely.
said actually everything is yukta vairagya. So if somebody Krishna has given you money, no problem. Don't donate it off. Right. Like use it for Krishna service. So we are not talking about vairagya. We're not talking about renunciation. Right. See, it's a very simple thing. Right. So let me clarify this. So there is a house. The center of the house is Krishna. Okay. Now, center of the house is Krishna, and now there will be two possible states. One is a fully pure state of bhakti where there is no sense gratification. This is called Kevala Bhakti, right? So Krishna is in the center, Krishna is there in the house, but there is also sense gratification. If there is sense gratification, it is called Mishra Bhakti. But since Krishna is in the center, ideally you should be working for him, but also saying, okay, Krishna, but I also have want to do sense gratification. Krishna says, okay, right? So this is not karma yoga. But if suppose the person is having a desire to work for his own satisfaction, not for Krishna, it is okay to say, I want to increase my business because I want to use it more in Krishna service. That is absolutely bhakti. But if somebody says, I want to increase my business or I want to increase my earnings because I want to enjoy, then it becomes karma.
Hmm.
Because there's no Krishna in that picture.
Yes, Prabhu.
Right? If Krishna is there in the picture, it is bhakti. If Krishna is not there in the picture, it becomes anything else.
Yes, Prabhu.
Right?
Prabhu,
Even
but
in one second, I'll just complete. Even in Mishra Bhakti, the center is still Krishna. And we are just telling Krishna saying, I'm fallen. I want
Hmm.
to do sense gratification, and then I use that money, but I use some part, I use a part of that money also for Krishna. I just don't use everything for my house maintenance and sense gratification. Then that is cheating, right? Which is why all grihasthas, I mean, I keep pushing. All our centers are running on just grihastha donations, right? And I keep pushing grihasthas saying that you have to donate. Because if you don't donate, then you are not doing bhakti at all. You have to donate for Krishna. Right? Otherwise, you're doing something, you're doing half karma yoga, you're doing half bhakti yoga, which is, like some very confused state. So simple thing is earn, right? You do whatever you want with the money. Give some money to Krishna every month. Every time he's giving you money, give that money to Krishna. And then you take whatever you want. You take whatever you want for your house maintenance. You are in Mishra Bhakti, you take whatever you want for sense gratification. All that is fine.
Yes,
But use
Prabhu.
the money for Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
This is bhakti yoga.
Yes, Prabhu.
And I don't have an inclination to simply work for the sake of working. Meaning, people want to just work today because they get kick out of it, because they have not experienced the rasa of bhakti, right? So that is not bhakti yoga. When I like to work for my own, just the kicks coming out of that work, the challenges that come in the work, etc. If it is just propensity to work, simple definition, if I have a propensity, if I have an inclination to work, I want to work, I like to work, then it's not bhakti yoga. Because in Bhakti Yoga, it's I like to serve Krishna. I want to please Krishna. That is Bhakti Yoga. I like to work. I like to take on more challenges. That is karma. So it's the mindset of the individual, right? Our mindset, what Prabhupada wants, what is the mindset Prabhupada expects us to have is, I am not kicked about my work. I'm doing because I just need that money for maintenance. That's all. I don't have any more attachment to my work. I'm okay to increase the work, increase the outcome, increase the money coming from the work for the only reason that I want to use it for Krishna. This is bhakti. This is bhakti. This is okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So,
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Just a quick observation over there, right? So because I've heard this several times also that yeah, I mean yeah, I've heard this from uh, that yeah, it's okay to earn more money, yeah, as long as you want to
Hmm.
spend it for Krishna, right? So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
statement. Then I was reading Bhagavad Gita, and there was one statement that says, yeah, as part of Karma Yoga, that yeah, you just work as a shared duty, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then see, I mean, because that statement that yeah, you it's okay to have more money, because that
Yeah.
means that statement itself is telling you, is indicating that yes, I mean you earn money, right? So earning money, that means you are expecting a positive result out of the work you're doing, right?
Mm.
And then you're expecting that outcome to be, I mean, of course, I mean, Krishna is the ultimate grant, he is the one granting everything, right? So that means you're expecting some kind of positive result out of it, because so that also is it not sense gratification?
No, no, absolutely not. If it is for Krishna, I mean, I'm running a center, right? I need 60,000 rupees every month to run my centers. Where am I going to get this money from? If I'm not going to, I mean, the point I'm making is, if I'm running a center, I need money. I'm absolutely happy to earn 60,000 rupees somehow. It just doesn't matter to me what I'm doing, right? If that expense goes to 80,000, of course I want to increase my earning from 60 to 80,000. There's absolutely nothing wrong in that, right? But this is possible only when we are doing things only for Krishna. We should not cheat ourselves. Mm. I did this cheating before once. A few years back, like 10 years back, I wanted to buy a car, and um, I wanted to buy a good car, right? That's what I had in my mind. But then I was not feeling very happy giving that reason, saying that I want to buy a good car. Of course, good car in my whatever, right? How much ever I could afford. So then I went and saw many cars. Then I finally decided on something which was not very expensive, but it was uh, a little bit of a good car, right? And the reason I gave for was, I mean, it's really cheating. I just said, when my Guru Maharaj comes, whenever he comes, hardly comes to Bangalore. I said, when he comes, I want to drive him in this car. It's just cheating, simply cheating, right? That happens once in a year, maybe. Um, and so these things, we should be careful. We should be not cheating ourselves. But it's okay that somehow, at least guilt, my mind is like at least making me logicize, making me create a logic which is aligned with Krishna. When Krishna's service is still okay, I will eventually get purified. Hmm. Um, so we should understand, saying that, see, if it is absolutely for Krishna, then there is no harm at all. Right? Prabhupada said, I want all the money in the world. Why? Because I want to run Krishna centers. We need so much of money. So it's absolutely not a problem, but we should not be cheating ourselves. That's all. That's the important thing.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. Is that okay if everybody comfortable? So just summarizing, bhakti means working only for Krishna. The money can be used for maintenance. The money can be used for sense gratification if it is Mishra Bhakti. The money doesn't get used for sense gratification if the devotees are performing Shuddha Bhakti. Okay, but it all has to be centered around Krishna. People should gradually at least give up this propensity or desire to work just for the sake of working. Meaning, I want to work because I like working. This propensity, this mindset has to go, right? Because that's not going to help us, bring us to Krishna, because that is karma yoga. That is karma. And then if you use that money for Krishna, then it becomes somewhat karma yoga. But we don't want to get there because it will become a very gradual process. So slowly and steadily we have to. That is the reason why when we chant, when we hear, when we associate with devotees, we slowly steadily give up this propensity to work, this desire to work, and this, all these anarthas. These are just contamination in the heart, and we will come to the platform saying, okay, I will work because I need to work. I will use as much as required for my maintenance. Yeah, okay, I'm not doing pure devotion, so some of that money goes off, unfortunately, for sense gratification. But I'll use a good amount of that money for Krishna's service, which means that I'm doing that every month, because every month I'm getting salary, right? So all grihasthas have to do this. I'm just re-emphasizing this, because if you don't do it, then you're not on the path of bhakti. Actually, you're in then mixed karma and some time pass, part-time bhakti. If you want to be doing full-time bhakti, because you have to get the benefit of full-time bhakti, otherwise it's very difficult to make progress. Mm. And I remember this actually when I was working. I'm just sharing this because I used to just donate. I used to simply donate. I never used to, if I heard that, there is some expense that is required, I used to just donate. I mean, I'm not saying this to boast, but I'm saying that this actually helped me. It helped me to become detached from that work, because when we are giving money to Krishna, automatically that backward, that desire for work slowly, steadily goes away. It purifies us. When we use money for Krishna's service, it purifies us. And I keep telling so many people, saying that it's because of those donations that I was able to make, that actually I lost that desire to work at one point of time. Meaning it didn't make any sense to me, right? And of course, Krishna took care. Krishna took care. Krishna is very, very merciful. If you give him 10, he will give us 100, right? He will never let, he knows us, right? So this is absolutely, and this is one of my motto for grihasthas, is to make sure that grihasthas donate.
Hare
Grihasthas
Krishna
donate.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna
Yes, bro.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, bro.
I want to tell group that Prabhu used to donate a lot of money. When you left job, when I came to know, I said, why is leaving job? Can so much amount
So much of
it
donation.
will be less amount will come to
Yeah,
the
less amount will be coming to the temple. So that's why I gave myself to the
no,
temple. Huh?
I'm talking to fact, Prabhu. Can I actually?
Yeah.
No hide actually.
Yes, bro. Yeah. Because it is important. Actually, that thing actually takes away our attachment to this, work and everything. We'll go in the right direction. And of course, see, if we don't do that, then we are actually, it's not, we are not doing the duty of grihasthas at all, right? So grihasthas
Yeah,
have to,
yeah.
grihasthas have to, right? There's no other
That-
way.
It's nice of you, Can from that time you, but still you are not stopped actually. Can maybe you are not going job, but whatever you to try to maintain still out of that also you're donating. It's a great
No,
sacrifice in this world. Actually.
no, bro. I'm selfish. I'm very, very selfish.
No,
I
no.
want, I want Krishna. So I'm ready to do anything for that.
Actually, Bhakti Vinod say, honey, money is honey. Actually, in
Hmm.
this world, actually, part with money is very difficult to with people. Actually, frankly tell you.
Okay. Yeah. That is, I mean, so if we start doing even in small quantity, right? Like maybe somebody is yeah, maybe 1% we give, maybe 1%, 2%, something we have to start, right? But withholding all the money is like real, I mean, miserliness. Right? And Prabhupada also says somewhere, saying that somebody who can give 100 rupees should not give 1 rupee. That is also not considered as donation, right? If his capacity is to give 100 rupees, he should give 100 rupees. Because I've seen also people who have money to give, and when asked, I go and ask all my relatives, etc. Yeah, I know how much money they have, and then they give. Okay, you're asking, theek hai, le lo, something, right? Like, I know that you can give 10x more than what you're given. So that's not very commendable, but it's okay. It's at least some mercy they're getting. But as practicing devotees, no way. I mean, we shouldn't cheat ourselves. We want to achieve Krishna. As grihasthas, most important thing that we have to do, because we are spending most of our time working, that whole time has to get purified. Otherwise, it'll result in contamination. So the only way for grihasthas is to actually donate. Right, and I'm very happy. Many of the devotees here who are attending these classes are donating on a monthly basis. right? Because they've been hearing this for a long time, and actually, yeah, most of them, right? Either they're using for their own preaching expenses, or they are giving for some preaching effort. So very thankful, and I make it a point actually. Beginning of the month, I thank all of them. I send out a message to all the people who donated, because so wholeheartedly they are actually doing it, and we should do it. We should do it. Yeah. Okay. I'll close there.
One point to ask.
Yeah.
When we are still loan has to repay,
Yeah.
we are taking loan and we are paying interest.
Yeah.
But still, I thanks them, Radha Ashtami, every time actually. Okay, at least they helped us to continue with construction and build this temple. It's okay if somebody taking interest.
No, I mean, it depends on what our mood is. That it's a very, I mean, if you ask me, it's like, Krishna has given us the 10 rupees. We gave the 10 rupees back to Krishna and said, give me 11 rupees. You know what cheating is that? I mean, why do we want to do that? At least you say that, okay, I gave you 10 rupees, you give me 10 rupees. Fine. Why? Because unfortunately, I can't give the 10 rupees away because I have some responsibilities myself. So I will want the 10 rupees back, which is okay. Which you can't give up the 10 rupees, no problem. Take the 10 rupees back. But don't tell Krishna saying that, no, you give me 1 rupee more.
And
You know,
same thing with if somebody taking 10 rupees and he give back 10 rupees to back to okay, just
It's okay. It's okay. It's not the highest standard. It's not the highest standard. Maybe he has an obligation, or maybe he's just whatever be the reason, right? But he's saying, okay, fine, I gave you. It was required at some point of time, but I need it now. Can you please give? It's okay. It's okay. It's not the best thing, but it's okay. Right? But if we take interest on that's like, I mean, that's far from bhakti, right? It's actually like becoming no real business, right? We just made Krishna our business. Oh yeah, 1%, 1% mil jayega yahan.
uh,
Right? I mean, this is ridiculous. You don't do it
as,
with Krishna's
as a
temple.
devotee, you not taken interest from temple, but devotees are also taking, that is okay. But
No, I don't think it's okay. Like I said, why are you taking interest from Krishna?
okay,
You're treating Krishna's temple and the needs of Krishna's temple as a return on investment.
okay,
No, it is a need. It is a need. I mean, I mean, first of all, we should understand Krishna has all the wealth in the world, right? Now, for
yeah.
what reason is he actually making these devotees contribute that money? It's just for their own benefit. Now, Krishna is making some of people give the money and then for their own benefit. And we are saying, no, no, we don't want your benefit, Krishna. We want the money back. So we are so foolish, first of all, right, to take interest back. And it's okay from the temple's perspective. Yeah, temple. If somebody gives me money and says you give me back, I'll say okay. I mean, I'm in need. I will somehow figure to give it back to you. But as devotees who are giving, they should have the heart. They should just think. That is why I'm saying they're not reading Prabhupada's books. Right? If you say temple is Krishna's, you want to achieve Krishna, right? You have some extra money, you are giving it to the temple, and you are saying, give me 1 rupee more back, right? How selfish can you be? How materialistic can you be, right? It's okay. Don't, everything is not about calculation. Everything is not about gain. Yeah. If the same 100 rupees I had put in some business, okay, put it in business. Why are you giving it to Krishna? Put it somewhere. Earn that interest that you want. Why you come to temple and do business? Yeah, I
Yes,
mean, I'm saying this is all like,
another one complex. One mother is there.
hmm
She suppose her interest comes about 10,000 or 20,000, and immediately without taking money, she adds something and gives to temple back. Not for any purpose actually, as a
Yeah, which is,
donation actually.
yeah, actually, we should just tell her saying that don't take the interest only, because now you're simply taking from Krishna and giving it back. Don't take the interest. It's better off. You'll be cleared. Your heart will become more purer because anyway you are giving it back, right? Every month you assume that you got that interest and you actually give that whatever additional money you are giving along with that interest. You just give it as donation every month. Actually, it is much better from a overall in a philosophical view, because you're not taking more from Krishna,
Yeah.
right? So it is just it'll clean that devotee for faster, right? Instead of taking and giving back, you just don't take at all. Just shows that, okay, I'm not come here to take any interest. It's just it was required. Okay, I had, fortunately, Krishna has put me in a position where I had some extra money which I could use. Right? You should feel fortunate that Krishna actually utilized us, made us an instrument in his service. And we should be happy about it, saying that, okay, fine, and I mean, I prayed before when I had this service opportunity, saying that Krishna, please create situations such that I don't have to take back this money. Right, but not
Oh,
everything
yeah.
I was able to do. Right, but
No,
that
but
is the mood. That is the mood in which we have to give, saying that Krishna, you somehow engage me in your service. Let it not result in me taking it back. Right? How can I take it back from you? But if somebody has to take, okay. I mean, what can we do?
no, yeah, that is a different issue.
Yeah.
Just like for my clarification, I am asking these 2-3 points.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Thank you, bro. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Bro.
Hare Krishna.
Very good.
Okay. Anything else? Otherwise, we can stop. And somehow every day one controversial topic comes up, or some controversial or important topic.
No, Prabhu, I feel, like I'm always getting
I
it.
think I should not log in. I should not come to class. That
No,
is
Prabhu,
what it is.
actually, see, the thing is, if both of you don't speak, then we are not actually getting the insights that we should actually get, right? Because sometimes I just make some statements and maybe it's not completely clear to devotees. And, so when these discussions happen, I feel that the topics are possibly becoming more clearer and more deeper to everybody, right? So I think this has to continue. If this doesn't continue, even in classes, I've seen, right, many a times classes are given, but there are no questions. So the actually understanding doesn't become grounded clearly, right? It becomes deep. So it's actually very nice that it is all in line with what we are discussing, and it helps us to understand the topic more clearly. So we should all thank you. I was telling that day also, saying that, previously we used to just finish classes and done, right? Okay, questions, 1 or 2 questions, and then 2 minutes we are done and we end the session, right? Now we end the session at 9 and inevitably we are discussing for 15-20 minutes. So which means that we are gaining more, I would suppose. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you for being patient.
Thank you to all.
I say
Thank
this
you, Hare
every day, and I'm so sorry. Hare Krishna,
No,
Dandavat
Mataji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, actually what Prabhu